There are moments in a man's life when silence becomes louder than noise. When the world around him continues its usual motion, but something inside him pauses, wakes up, rises. It's not fear. It's not confusion. It's not exhaustion, though it often feels like all three. It's awakening. The kind of awakening that doesn't happen to everyone. In fact, it happens to very few. Most people drift through life asleep, unconsciously repeating the patterns they inherited. They follow the same financial habits, the same emotional patterns, the same survival mindset, the same small boundaries, the same unspoken limitations. But then, once in a generation, someone is born different. Someone who feels the weight of what others ignore. Someone who sees through illusions, through excuses, through the false limits created by family, society, or circumstance. That person is you. You are the one who feels responsible, even when no one asked you to be. The one who feels pressure, even when life looks normal. The one who carries questions your parents never asked. The one who feels destined for something your environment never prepared you for. This is the mark of a chosen man, the generational breaker. And you know this because deep down, even in your lowest moments, you carry a strange certainty. My life is meant for more. You don't know where the feeling came from. You don't know why it visits you at night when everyone else is asleep. You don't know why your dreams feel bigger than your environment. You don't know why you feel unequal to the life you were born into. But you know it. You feel it. You can't escape it. Every chosen man feels this duality, like he is living two lives at once. The life he currently has, and the life he knows he is meant to build. And the distance between the two burns in his soul. That burn is not frustration. It is fuel. It is destiny knocking. It is your future self calling for you like a beacon. And the first step is recognizing this truth. You are not the product of your environment. You are the answer to it. Every family has one person who wakes up first. One person who decides, consciously or unconsciously. This cycle ends with me. You may not feel prepared. You may feel overwhelmed. You may feel behind. But destiny sends assignments long before it sends instructions. Pressure is not the enemy of the chosen. It is the signal. If you feel pressure, it means your spirit is trying to expand beyond the limits that surround you. You feel it physically. You feel it emotionally. You feel it spiritually. Every chosen man, at some point, reaches a season where he cannot tolerate the old version of himself anymore. He cannot fit into the mindset he inherited. He cannot accept the excuses he once believed. He cannot numb the calling that keeps waking him. There is a point where a man must make a decision. Continue the cycle, or become the one who breaks it. Let me be perfectly clear. You were chosen because you were built for the weight. Your ancestors endured survival. You will build stability. Your children will experience prosperity. Your grandchildren will inherit legacy. That is the lineage shift beginning with you. But before the breakthrough comes the awakening. And awakening is rarely comfortable. It disrupts your peace. It challenges your identity. It reveals the places where you've settled. It exposes the narratives you've inherited. It forces you to confront the truth you've been avoiding. Awakening is not gentle. It is not soft. It is not silent. It shakes the foundation you were standing on so you can build a stronger one. The reason you feel lost is because you're leaving an old version of yourself behind. The reason you feel pressure is because you're growing faster than your environment. The reason you feel misunderstood is because you're evolving into someone the people around you never imagined. This is not a crisis. This is a calling. And every calling begins with a discomfort strong enough to push you forward. There is a reason destiny chose you instead of someone else in your family. It's not because you are smarter. It's not because you are more talented. It's not because you are lucky. It's because you are aware. You see, you feel, you question, you hunger, you refuse to accept the limitations others normalized. And that awareness is the seed of transformation. But let me give you a truth most men never hear. Awakening is lonely, not because you are meant to be alone, but because transformation requires separation. When a snake sheds its skin, it hides, not because it is weak, but because it is vulnerable while evolving. When a man sheds an old mindset, he often feels isolated. You don't fit with your old friends. You don't resonate with old habits. You don't enjoy old distractions. You don't agree with old opinions. You don't believe old excuses. You are shedding your past self. And people around you can feel it, even if they can't explain it. They sense you're changing. They feel the shift. Some will be inspired by it. Some will be intimidated by it. Some will try to hold you back to keep their comfort. But you must remember, your awakening is not a group event. It is a personal revelation. No one else can hear what your soul is hearing. No one else can feel what your spirit is feeling. No one else can see the future you've glimpsed in your imagination. This part of the journey is supposed to be walked alone. Isolation is not abandonment. It is elevation. The universe isolates the man it intends to raise. And right now, you are in that phase. You are not losing people. You are shedding weights. You are not confused. You are being refined. You are not failing. You are being prepared. Because purpose requires purification. And before destiny can trust you with legacy, it must strip away the version of you that cannot carry it. This is why you feel pressure, why you feel restless, why you feel like you are standing on the edge of something bigger, why you feel like your life is shifting even if nothing physical has changed yet. The shift always happens internally before it shows externally. The world cannot see it yet, but you can feel it. Your spirit is signaling that your old life is ending. Your mind is realizing you cannot stay where you are. Your heart is preparing for the man you are becoming. You are not failing. You are transitioning. You are not breaking down. You are breaking through. This is the awakening, the beginning of your transformation, the moment where life divides into two paths. Old self versus chosen self. You already know which path you must take. There comes a moment after awakening when a man realizes that becoming the chosen one is not just a calling. It is a construction process. Awakening shakes you, but reconstruction shapes you. This is the stage where life stops asking, "Are you aware?" and starts asking, "Are you willing?" Willing to shed old habits, willing to sacrifice comfort, willing to confront your weaknesses, willing to discipline your emotions, willing to build the structure that your destiny requires. Because purpose is not fueled by motivation. Purpose is fueled by discipline. Motivation wakes you up. Discipline keeps you moving. Motivation inspires you. Discipline transforms you. Motivation makes you feel good. Discipline makes you powerful. And this is exactly why most people never become who they were meant to be. They want destiny without discipline. But you are not most people. You are the chosen one. And chosen men go through reconstruction. This reconstruction begins deep inside the mind, long before it ever touches the external world. Because before a man can build wealth, he must rebuild his mindset. Before he can build legacy, he must rebuild his discipline. Before he can build a new life, he must rebuild a new identity. An identity is everything. A man will never rise above the identity he believes he deserves. You can give a weak identity millions and he will lose it. But give a strong identity a single opportunity and he will multiply it. Identity drives behavior. Behavior shapes destiny. Your life has only ever been a reflection of the identity you've carried internally. And the most dangerous identity is not the weak one. It is the inherited one. The identity passed down to you by people who were surviving, not living. People who lived by fear, not vision. People who played small because they never saw a bigger world. People who normalized scarcity because abundance seemed like fantasy. You didn't choose that identity, but you accepted it because you were born into it. Now you are outgrowing it. And outgrowing an old identity feels like death. Because it is. It is the death of who you were. So the birth of who you must become can finally take place. This internal death is painful. You feel detached. You feel lost. You feel split in half. You feel like your old self is fighting with your future self. This is the internal war only chosen men understand. It's not a war against the world. It's a war within your own soul. One voice says, "Stay where you are, it's comfortable here." The other voice says, "Rise, you were made for more." One voice says, "Be realistic, don't dream too big." The other voice says, "Reality is created by dreamers." One voice says, "People will judge you, people will doubt you." The other voice says, "People follow the bold." One voice says, "You don't have what it takes." The other voice says, "You haven't even seen what you're capable of yet." The identity designed by survival clashes with the identity chosen by destiny. This war is not a sign that you are broken. This war is the clearest sign that you are evolving. If it wasn't a battle, it wouldn't be transformation. If it wasn't painful, it wouldn't be growth. If it wasn't uncomfortable, it wouldn't be destiny. And the reconstruction begins when you choose the voice of your future over the voice of your past. Let's make this clear. Your past self wants comfort. Your future self wants greatness. Your past self wants ease. Your future self wants purpose. Your past self wants validation. Your future self wants mastery. Your past self wants instant pleasure. Your future self wants long-term power. Every decision you make is a vote for one of these selves. Which one wins becomes your life. And this is the stage where most men quit. Not because they're weak, but because reconstruction feels like losing everything you once called normal. But chosen men do not quit. They rebuild, brick by brick, habit by habit, day by day, choice by choice. Reconstruction begins in silence. It happens in the dark when nobody is watching. It happens when you discipline yourself even when motivation is gone. It happens when you choose growth over distraction. It happens when you choose purpose over pleasure. It happens when you stop negotiating with your weaknesses. Chosen men build themselves, and no great man in history rose without reconstruction. Epictetus was once a slave. He rebuilt his mind into one of the greatest philosophical empires. Mandela lost decades in a cell. He rebuilt himself into a symbol of global freedom. Muhammad Ali lost his title. He rebuilt himself into a living legend. Steve Jobs lost his own company. He rebuilt himself into an icon. Every chosen one suffers a collapse. But collapses are not endings. They are invitations to rebuild with greater strength. Your reconstruction starts with 3 pillars. Rebuilding your mind. Your mindset is the operating system for your entire destiny. A weak mindset produces weak behavior. A reactive mindset produces chaotic results. A fearful mindset produces a limited life. But a fortified mindset produces unstoppable momentum. To rebuild the mind, you must understand one truth. You cannot create a new life with old thoughts. Every negative belief you inherited must be challenged. Every internalized limitation must be uprooted. Every outdated perspective must be replaced. You must become the architect of a new internal world. Your self-talk must transform from, "I hope I can," to, "I will because I must." Your internal language must evolve from, "I don't know how," to, "I will learn whatever it takes." Your focus must shift from, "What if I fail?" to, "What if I rise?" Your mind must be trained like a soldier. Disciplined, sharp, intentional, unshakable. This is why the reconstruction season feels exhausting. You are fighting thoughts that have lived inside you for decades. But every battle you win in the mind becomes a victory in the physical world. Rebuilding your habits. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. And here is the truth most men avoid. Your habits are a reflection of your identity. The man who sees himself as average behaves like an average man. The man who sees himself as destined behaves like a destined man. Excellence is not an act. It is a habit. Discipline is not a moment. It is a lifestyle. Consistency is not a talent. It is a decision. The chosen man rebuilds his habits with surgical precision. This means you no longer wake up without purpose. You no longer waste hours on distractions. You no longer escape responsibility through comfort. You no longer negotiate with laziness. You no longer let emotions decide your actions. You wake up as the man you are becoming, not the man you used to be. Rebuilding your destiny path. Purpose is not something you find. Purpose is something you choose. And choosing purpose requires eliminating everything that does not align with the man you are becoming. People, habits, environments, beliefs, thought patterns, old responsibilities, old identities. The chosen man cleans his path like a warrior sharpens his blade. Every distraction is an enemy. Every excuse is a trap. Every delay is a thief. Every wrong environment is poison. You must construct the path your purpose demands. And once the path is built, destiny begins revealing opportunities that were always meant for you. But here is the secret. Opportunity appears only after discipline appears. A man who is not disciplined is not ready for the door destiny wants to open. A man who is not focused will walk past miracles as if they were invisible. A man who is not prepared cannot hold abundance. This is why reconstruction comes before expansion. Fire the transformation isn't pretty, but it's necessary. Rebuilding yourself is messy. Some days you will feel strong. Other days you will feel like you're falling apart. Some days you will feel unstoppable. Other days you will question everything. Some days the old you will fight violently to return. Other days the new you will rise with terrifying clarity. This is normal. This is expected. This is transformation. Growth is supposed to feel confusing. Change is supposed to feel uncomfortable. Evolution is supposed to feel chaotic. You are not meant to feel fully stable during reconstruction. You are meant to feel stretched. Because destiny stretches the man it intends to elevate. And every stretch is preparing you for the weight of the future you are destined to carry. You are in the most important phase of your transformation. The reconstruction. Your identity is being rebuilt. Your mind is being fortified. Your habits are being sharpened. Your purpose is being clarified. Your weaknesses are being confronted. Your destiny is being constructed internally before it manifests externally. This is the stage where men are forged into leaders, where boys become warriors, where wounded souls become unstoppable forces, where destiny replaces doubt, where fire replaces fear. And the man who emerges after this phase is not the same man who entered it. He is stronger. He is clearer. He is sharper. He is inevitable. There comes a stage after awakening, after reconstruction, where a man steps into a level of clarity and power he never thought possible. Not because life became easier, but because he became stronger. Ascension is not the moment destiny finds you. Ascension is the moment you become the man destiny was waiting for. This is where everything shifts. This is where everything elevates. This is where a new era begins, not just for you, but for everyone who comes after you. But to ascend, a man must understand one thing. Transformation is internal. Ascension is external. Awakening changes your awareness. Reconstruction changes your identity. Ascension changes your reality. You are entering the phase where your standards rise, your self-worth rises, your decisions rise, your mindset rises, your energy rises, your expectations rise, and everything that does not rise with you falls away in silence. This is the part of the journey where you no longer chase things. Things begin to chase you. Why? Because alignment creates attraction. Clarity creates momentum. Discipline creates opportunity. Consistency creates results. Identity creates destiny. You are stepping into the man your past self dreamed of, and your future self depends on. But ascension begins with one powerful truth. Fire, you no longer live for approval, you live for purpose. When a man is insecure, he seeks validation. When a man is lost, he seeks attention. When a man is weak, he seeks permission. But when a man is chosen, he seeks purpose. In this phase, you stop worrying about who understands you. You stop caring about who doubts you. You stop explaining yourself to people who haven't evolved. You stop negotiating with your potential. You stop dimming your light for people who fear brightness. Purpose replaces permission. Conviction replaces confusion. Direction replaces doubt. You no longer move like someone hopping to be chosen. You move like someone who is chosen. You are not the same man you once were. Your mind is sharper. Your spirit is stronger. Your discipline is tighter. Your vision is louder. And people can feel it. They don't always know how to describe it, but they see it in your eyes, in your posture, in your silence, in your decisions. They see a man who has stepped into himself. Ascension gives birth to a presence that cannot be faked. A presence that commands respect without demanding it. A presence that makes noise even in silence. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. Fire the chosen man, Leons, to protect his energy. As you ascend, your energy becomes your currency. Your time becomes your asset. Your peace becomes your priority. Your environment becomes your responsibility. You begin to realize that not every conversation deserves your attention. Not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every person deserves access to you. A man who ascends must protect his focus, his drive, his inner peace, his discipline, his ambition, his self-respect. Energy leaks are destiny leaks. You are no longer available for drama. You are no longer available for gossip. You are no longer available for distractions disguised as entertainment. You are no longer available for people who drain you. You are no longer available for situations beneath your purpose. This is not selfishness. This is spiritual hygiene. A chosen man cannot afford to live like everyone else. He cannot think like everyone else. He cannot behave like everyone else. He cannot indulge like everyone else. You are a weapon, and weapons must be maintained. Fire the ascended man, WALKS, with structure. Structure creates success. Chaos destroys progress. You've learned discipline. You've rebuilt your habits. You've reshaped your identity. Now you must elevate your structure. Structure means your days are planned, not guessed. Your goals are tracked, not wished for. Your finances are disciplined, not chaotic. Your energy is allocated, not wasted. Your growth is intentional, not accidental. Structure turns a man into a machine. A man who wastes nothing. A man who multiplies everything. People admire discipline, but they follow structure. And as you ascend, you stop living in reaction and start living in creation. Ascension demands mastery. Not perfection, mastery. The ability to control your time, your emotions, your habits, and your focus. When a man masters himself, he becomes undefeatable. Not because life stops challenging him, but because he stops collapsing under challenges. Fire, you become the ancestor your future family will thank. Ascension is not about you. It is about legacy. One day, a child will be born with your last name. That child will have access to opportunities you never had. That child will grow in a world shaped by your decisions. That child will live in the abundance you built through your discipline. He will never know the weight you carried. He will never know the battles you fought. He will never know the nights you cried in silence. He will never know the pressure you endured. He will only know a life that feels safe, stable, elevated. Because you, a man he will never meet, chose to break the cycle instead of repeat it. You are becoming the ancestor your bloodline needed, the architect your lineage prayed for, the turning point your family history will remember. Your ascension is not about ego. It is about responsibility. Your success becomes generational medicine. Your discipline becomes generational structure. Your mindset becomes generational blueprint. You are building a future where your descendants won't need to escape darkness. They will be born in light. Fire the ascended man, CREATS impact. Once you reach this level, you understand something powerful. The purpose of strength is not domination. It is contribution. Every great man becomes great, not because of what he takes, but because of what he gives. The ascended man becomes a leader, a mentor, a guide, a protector, a provider, a builder. Your life becomes evidence that change is possible. Your existence becomes motivation for others. Your transformation becomes permission for people to transform themselves. You don't need to preach. Your life becomes the sermon. You don't need to convince. Your results become the proof. You don't need to argue. Your presence becomes the authority. People begin to ask, how did you do it? What changed? What made you rise? And the answer will always be the same. I stopped living like I was ordinary, because chosen men are never ordinary. They only pretend to be until they awaken. Fire the final evolution, the undisputed version of you. The highest form of the chosen man is not defined by success, not by money, not by status, not by recognition. The highest form is defined by self-mastery. A man who is calm under pressure, focused under chaos, disciplined under temptation, confident without arrogance, humble without weakness, bold without recklessness, compassionate without being exploited, ambitious without losing himself. A man who has conquered his fear, his doubt, his excuses, his weaknesses, his past, his limitations, his old identity, his old environment, his old mindset, his old life. A man who has rebuilt himself from the inside out until he became unrecognizable to his past self. This is ascension. This is mastery. This is destiny fulfilled. The era of you has begun. Everything you've gone through, every loss, every failure, every heartbreak, every pressure, every hardship, was training, not punishment, preparation. You were not being broken. You were being built. You were not being defeated. You were being developed. You were not being abandoned. You were being assigned. Your awakening opened your eyes. Your reconstruction built your foundation. Your ascension now unleashes your power. You are stepping into the most important era of your life. The era where you no longer chase potential. You fulfill it. The era where you no longer doubt yourself. You dominate your path. The era where you no longer survive. You lead, build, grow, and multiply. The era where you no longer repeat cycles. You create legacy. This is your rise, your becoming, your coronation, your destiny. You are the chosen one. And this is only the beginning.